Well, thank you, Mark Masai. Coming to you live from Gatundu South, the Deputy County Commissioner's office, the venue of what has been a tension-filled day here in the constituency of Gatundu South. This is where all the materials that were supposed to have been used in today's Jubilee Party primaries for this constituency were supposed to have been picked and distributed to the various polling stations. People who had intended to participate in this exercise came here from as early as 6 a.m. in the morning, many of them eager to be part of this exercise. However, that was not to be. The lorry that carried the ballot boxes is still within this compound. The aspirants maintaining that they cannot take part in an exercise that they believe has been tainted. The reason why they believe this exercise was tainted even before it started is simply because of that very lorry that we mentioned earlier. It came in here. The people who saw it first say it had already been opened. It did not have enough security, and some of the ballot papers were missing. I am now joined by one of the aspirants who was vying for a Jubilee ticket. There were 5 of them, including the incumbent. Perhaps you can just tell us who you are and why you did not actually take part in this exercise today.
Thank you so much. My name is Kongo Kibadi. I'm MP aspirant Gatundu South. The people of Gatundu are so disgruntled today because of the day following. We were unable to hold our nominations today, and one of the major reasons, the vehicle that was ferrying the materials never followed the right route from the headquarters. And another thing, the RO who was sent here, he had no idea what he was doing. And then the POs and the clerks, I think there was a failing communication between the secretariat. So I think we are blaming the secretariat, Honorable Tuju, and the whole secretariat. It's a failure on your side. Because the RO himself admitted the PO had no proper training, and he reported here so late yesterday, almost 2 a.m. in the morning. And then he even didn't know the logistics of this place. Even right now, before he left, he said he don't know where he is. He was moved from another county to Kiambu to Gatundu South. So that was one of the major finding was why we never held our nominations today. Another thing, the other candidates feel that the polling material were tampered with. So we are disgruntled, and the whole Gatundu South. And this is constituency number 1, and where the president comes from. We want to tell the Jubilee Party, we love Jubilee Party, but we are telling them, the secretariat, the officials, please, let's have proper planning. Let's hold our free and fair nominations.
Thank you very much. That was one of the contestants who had intended to participate in this exercise, but like you said, it did not take place. They're blaming the Secretariat for failing to plan adequately and failing to ensure that the materials that were supposed to have been used in this exercise were well secured. This is an issue that has caught the attention of the very Secretariat, and we have with us here Mr. Mwanga, who has been sent from Nairobi to come and particularly address this issue. Mr. Mwanga, perhaps just from your initial contact with the aspirants, what are you hearing and what is their complaint, and is it legitimate from where you stand?
There was a problem of the logistics. I'm told the materials arrived here late, and we also have some allegations from aspirants that the ballot papers inside the lorry were interfered with. Now, what we are going to do as the Secretariat is that already an investigation has been launched to investigate the routing of the lorry, and for the purposes of accountability, I have met all the aspirants. I've assured them that we are going to do a repeat exercise. But before that repeat exercise is done, an audit of the ballot papers is going to be done. If even one single ballot paper was interfered with, I want to assure the aspirants that we are going to do a new complete reprint of the ballot papers, and we will try as much as possible to move all the Jubilee Secretariat machineries here when we are doing the nomination next time. Yes.
So as it stands right now, what is the fate of the Gatundu South Jubilee Party primaries?
Gatundu South will now put it among other counties like Kericho the other counties. We have about 7 counties that nomination primaries have been postponed. And the aspirants here are very good, very cooperative. We've agreed on a consensus that the lorry is going to be escorted back to the secretariat through police escort so that an audit is done on what happened. And I want to assure them that at earliest possible next week, we will do a proper nomination exercise that befits all the aspirants.
Yes. They have complained when you were holding that meeting with them that they were unable to get hold of this lorry from last night up until 11 a.m. As a party secretariat, did you have similar concerns? Did you raise similar issues, or were you able to be in communication with this lorry driver and, of course, the ballot papers throughout until they arrived here?
That is something that came up today, and of course, just as I've said, that the whole thing is now under investigation. We want to know the time the lorry left Nairobi, the routes it took, and at what time it got here. Yes.
Because what we have learned, we were also at Kiambu High School, which should be the county tallying center, and where all the other constituencies were also fetching their materials from. But from what we hear, this lorry never made it there. That's
why, for the purposes of this lorry and the materials inside the lorry, that's why we are saying that it's under investigation. Because all the materials were supposed to go through Kiambu High School, that is the county. That's we had our county tallying center for audit purposes before they are dispatched to the sub-county. You know, in Kiambu we have 12 constituencies. So in terms of logistics, we've really tried our best, and I'm praying for the best that we'll do it again.
What lessons have you learned from running these primaries? Because just within Kiambu itself, almost all the polling stations did not open on time, some opening as late as 3 in the afternoon.
We have that. That's under logistics. But have you seen any person, any man in black trying to kick a ballot paper? No. I mean, Jubilee is very peaceful. Look at the aspirants are here. They are very peaceful, and we've agreed that we are going to repeat the exercise in a very transparent manner, and each and everybody will get the value for his work or the campaign.
And lastly, just perhaps because the polling stations opened quite a bit late in this county, what are you doing to make sure that everybody who turned up gets a chance to vote? I suppose they were supposed to have closed around 5 or 6?
The Secretariat is going to make sure that for the purposes of Gatundu South, we'll start in the morning at 6. So we'll have to move the materials here a day before and make sure that everything is here. And I want to assure the aspirants that all the presiding officers who are to participate in the election process, we will make sure that we have a new set range of presiding officers who will run the exercise. Yes.
What about today? Because like I mentioned earlier, most polling stations opened a bit late. Will you allow everyone who is right now still perhaps on a queue somewhere to cast their vote?
No, that one, we have a standard time of voting, and we have that one. Let the Secretariat will decide. But to me, I know it's past 6. The voting, the polling station should have closed. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwanga, there telling us exactly what has been happening here, telling us that the election for as far as Gatundu South constituency is concerned has been postponed to next week. We don't know whether that will be on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, but at least before Wednesday, this constituency should have held its primaries, and the residents here, the voters here, will have exercised their democratic right to pick their candidate, the preferred candidate who will fly the Jubilee flag for the position of governor, senator, member of parliament, women representative and MCA. That information will be communicated to the aspirants as soon as possible, Mr. Mwanga saying that, and from then they will be able to know just how they will conduct this election to the satisfaction of the aspirants and the residents of this county. I am also joined by yet another aspirant who was a part of the group that complained. Perhaps you can just very briefly tell us, what are you satisfied by what the party secretariat has done?